that Warhammer Quest Cursed City goodness. And so I clipped out the parts for Qulathis the Exile. And there are 4 parts plus the base. And so I dry fit everything because I wanted to make sure that I understand how it goes together so I don't have another video where I'm just fiddling with all the bits for like a minute and nothing is happening. And what happened was when I tried to get this bit, the head attached to the back where the quiver for the arrows are, it won't come out now. It's kind of stuck there. So I'm gonna see if I can twist it off and show you the proper way of how it goes on, because there is a trick that when I was cutting this part out, there we go. If you look at the head, when you clip out the head, there's this bar underneath that looks like it's a part of the frame, right? If I just saw this in a bits bag, I would think, oh, they forgot to clip off this bar, and I would clip it off and just have the head. You're actually not supposed to do that, because even though this looks like a bit of sprue, this little tube right there is actually supposed to go into the back as well as the torso. I think that's very weird and counterintuitive. Maybe they should have made it a different shape rather than a circle. Sorry, I forgot to put my handy dandy ring light on. Okay, so it's weird that, where did the piece go now? This head has this bar that looks like sprue. And I think as a gamer, as a hobbyist who's clipped out a lot of heads and built a lot of miniatures in my time, if I see just a tube looking piece of plastic, I'm going to assume, oh, that's a bit of sprue, and I'm going to clip it off like I said. But that's why they should have made it a hexagon, or maybe like a triangle, a pyramid. That would have been cool. But yeah, just circular like that. If I clipped all my bits out and now I'm looking at them and cleaning off the flash, I would have said, oh, I must have missed this piece. No, that's actually supposed to be there. And it's supposed to be at this specific angle so that her head looks like that when you build it on the model. All right, let's follow our instructions, shall we? First is we get this head onto the torso. The torso comes in 2 pieces. So the model is cut along a horizontal plane rather than a vertical plane, meaning they looked at the front of the model and the back of it from the side, and they said, how do we split up this model into parts so that we could put it on a sprue and then have it assembled the way we want it to be assembled? And it's supposed to be like that. So they slice it from front to back, and that's what your pieces are, rather than across from left to right. Elf struggles. Yeah, that's right, Brady. So instead of one arm, torso, the other arm, or one arm, torso and legs, and then the other arm, you have it from front to back. So I'm going to be putting a little dollop of glue into this back peg of the rear part of the torso. I like this skirt. Reminds me of like rattan bamboo mats that we used to sit on and hang out and talk story with all the time when I was a kid in Hawaii. All right, let's get into frame, shall we? And that little sprue, the front part of that sprue bit is going to go right into the back there. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm going to have to peek over my phone for a second. There. So it slots in pretty good, pretty clean. Like I just said, if you're only building the model and you clip out if you clip out this tube, you could still slot the head because there's a little bit of a neck. Oh, is there secretly Hawaiian? That's funny, Brady. All right, now I'm going to add a little bit more glue onto the back nub. And we're going to be putting on the quiver. This one I was dry fitting the model. I had a wonky time with this part because I put the quiver on at the wrong angle, and that messes everything up. So luckily, there's no real way you could mess that up because it won't fit if you don't build it the way they intended. So that looks pretty good. The quiver kind of slots in at just the right angle. everything looks right. Everything looks like it fits the way it's supposed to. You don't see any huge seams or gaps. All right, now the front part is really interesting because it's her legs, the arm with the arrow pulled back, and she's at an angle. So you could see she's leaping almost like forward and to the side off of this piece of masonry. So let's pop that onto the front. Yep, I could add a little dollop of glue to where that arm is. That's pretty good. Just push it in, make sure it's slotted in there. That's a pretty model. I talked a lot of trash about this model. Instead of deer pelts, the elves wear turtle shells and cans of spam. Yeah, instead of antlers, they have the tops of the pineapples on their heads. I talked a lot of trash about this model when I saw it because I don't think there was a 360 view of this model. When you can turn this model, I think I know why. This seam is kind of ugly. When you see the model from different angles, it looks almost like a dancer. It looks a lot better sculpted. You could tell they kind of took those witches from Dark Elves, or the Dark Eldar, I mean, and they kind of copied that pose. They might have also done this with the Witch Elves, but it's very dancery. She's pointing her toe. She's got her knee lifted up. The angles of the legs are great. And the angle of her body, the direction matches the braids as well as the knife. Everything is at a really great, like the angles and the lines look so nice. But when you just look at it from the front, that Games Workshop showed it in that first review article, it's not very impressive. There's not too much to speak about. Now that I'm holding it, oh man, this is a great model. How much would I pay for it? I would pay maybe like 15, 20 bucks to buy it separately. I don't know. As a character model, that's the most I would pay for it. But you don't really pay for models individually anymore like that. I'm going to be doing this unboxing for this skink chief here. I think these guys look more Hawaiian than anything else. Aztec Incan, those old civilizations. But look at this. The reason I'm pulling them out, I bought them for $9. Can you imagine if they sold characters for $9 now? And that's in metal, man. I'm talking like that. That's in metal, man. Come on, man. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on the base so I could just pop it right in. And by the base, I don't mean the silver or the black plastic base. I mean a little bit of the base on the model, just around the horizontal peg, or the, gosh, I don't have my words today, the hexagonal peg. And you can see that she's heavy on the left side of the model, and then it veers to the right. Or rather, she's heavy on the right side of the model, and then the weight, the most of the model is on the left. Emperor's New Groove. That's a great movie, man. There's a lot of comedy in that movie. The Emperor's New Groove. If you haven't seen it, I discounted it when it first came out in theaters, and I just watched it on Disney Plus for the first time a couple months ago. Hilarious movie. Especially Kronk and that old lady, Eartha Kitt. She's great. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Look at that, not even 10 minutes. If we can keep it at this pace, I might be able to get more of these done than I was afraid I would. Oh, this is a beautiful model. They got to bring back Wood Elves. Come on, Games Workshop. I'm going to be using AK Natural Texture Rough Terrain. Slather it on the bottom of the model, just like I did with Jelson the Rock and Imelda here. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to do that with her, and then we will come back. Who's going to be next? What up, player? Blue Cloud Andrew in the house. So the plan today, Blue, is I'm going to be building up as much of as I can of these models in little video segments so people can jump in and out. They don't have to watch a 4-hour assemble video. They can just jump into the ones they would build or they're interested in. Wood Elf Pride Worldwide. Next is going to be Dagnai Holdenstock. I love this model, man. I wish they did an article on him maybe even instead of the elf. There's so many steampunky goodness on it, from the little readout there to all the knobs and doodads. So he's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. Oh, getting advanced. I think all of the models we've built so far are 4 pieces. Yeah, this ogre looks like he's going to be a lot of fun to build. Just taking a look at how much more we got. Okay. All right. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hey, if you want to check out the Discord, maybe I'll jump on the Discord in between videos while I'm doing basing and stuff, just to give YouTube a little bit of time to catch up. Thanks for watching this build of Qulathis the Exile. We're going to take a tiny break, jump on in for our next live video, and thanks so much for watching. We'll